We're live.
Salam, everybody. We're going to be beginning in just a minute.
What Jeep do you have now?
Wrangler. Should be getting another one soon, hopefully.
That's a lot.
In the summertime.
All right, perfect. All right, Salam MEA community, thank you for tuning in today. I know there was some inclement weather here in New York, but thankfully we all came together for this great event. This event is catered towards real estate and investing. Really, trying to see exactly the in and outs of real estate. For those of you trying to get a career in real estate, the myths, how to succeed. For those of you like me who's looking to buy their first home soon, what are the do's and don'ts. And overall, just a general opinion from some experts on the market and how to invest. So without further ado, I want to introduce our panel from left to right. So we can start with Ish.
Left to right?
Oh, well, sorry, yeah, right to left.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Ismail Kolia. I'm an account executive with Guidance Residential, originally from India. Alhamdulillah, I've settled in the Bronx of New York for the last 25 years. And I know a thing or two about real estate, and now I'm diving into mortgages.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Hamza Kamisa. I am a real estate salesperson at Fave Realty, soon to be associate broker. I am a student at Queens College. I've been doing real estate for almost 5 years now, and that's what I've been doing.
Hello everyone, my name is Sardar Asadullah. I am a real estate attorney. I have a practice that services the tri-state area, Long Island, and the 5 boroughs, and the majority of our practice, as I said, is real estate. So that's sort of what we'd like to focus on, and that's our expertise.
Perfect. So to kick it off, we have some pre-selected questions and topics to go over. One of the first topics that we want to answer is basically, what does a career in real estate look like? How does one get into real estate? What are some myths and misconceptions? And overall, how can one succeed and make a career in real estate? So just take it away.
I'll let the senior guy take over.
All right, so I started real estate right out of high school. So I was 18, I just graduated, and my test was exactly on the same day as my graduation. So I've been doing real estate for 5 years almost. I think the biggest myth I want to clear right away is that people think it's easy and it's quick money. It's definitely not. The first 2 years I struggled a lot. I had almost, I think, 1 deal in 2 years. But it all comes down to how much time you put in, how much effort you put in, how many people you know, and obviously the type of service you provide.
Yeah, I will tag along with Hamza. It is not easy. It does require a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, a lot of follow-up skills. The money is certainly there. Real estate is one of those fields where you have the potential to make more than $100,000 a year, $200,000, $300,000. The potential is there. There are very few fields where you can go to school only for 75 hours and spend $1,000 in investment and make $100,000, $200,000 a year and still be your own boss, right? I always say this, and so they probably will not like it. When we go to a closing, there are 3 lawyers at the closing. They went to law school and probably got a lot of student loans. They charge around $1,500, $2,000, and the real estate agent will walk away from five grand to 15 grand to 20 grand. So the money's certainly there, but it does come with work. It does come with stellar follow-up skills and interpersonal skills. You got to be able to put yourself out there and introduce yourself and say hello to people. Yeah.
Okay, great. What do you think are some misconceptions that people have when they first try to get into real estate or are thinking about a career in real estate?
I think what Hamza touched base on, which is it's easy. You see just about everybody try to do real estate, right? A guy drives an Uber on the side and then he does real estate. Guy does goes to school and he does real estate, and you name everything in between. So people have this misconception that it's easy. Anything else you want to add, Hamza?
But yeah, that's about it. I think most of the people that even get their license, for the most part, they're inactive and they're not really practicing their field. Another misconception that people have is that, I know so many people, as soon as I get my real estate license, everyone's going to be coming to me to get a house. That is a big misunderstanding. That does not happen. You'll get people here and there. It's obviously word of mouth, but you can't really depend on just the network you have. You got to always think about growing your network, which you're really good at.
I'll throw a few numbers out. 80% of deals in real estate are done by 20% of the agents. So it's a very handful few that are really killing it out there. The rest are just bouncing between walls to walls. And an average agent does about 4 deals in a year in America. So you've got to ask yourself before you enter into this field, hey, am I an average agent? Am I made to be an average agent, or am I extraordinary in terms? We all have something special. It's not that somebody has all the specialties. We all have something special. So you've got to find your niche and you've got to find what you're good at. But if this is your calling, absolutely, the money's there. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of that, how do you see that somebody is, entering into real estate? What's the ladder? Like, how do they get successful? What do they have to do in order to, get to a place where they're saying, they're making X amount and it's actually a career for them and not something they're doing on the side? What would you suggest?
I would say like the one mistake that I made was I didn't have the proper guidance. I didn't have the proper training. You got to find someone that you really vibe with, someone who's going to train you, mentor you, teach you the ropes, someone who might not be that selfish. So with me, I worked 2 years, and then my 3rd year, I found someone that was willing to train me. We spent countless hours. They would help me market, get the word out. We go to mosque, trying to get even though they're non-Muslim, they'll still come to the mosque with me to, teach people about real estate and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tag along on that. Your environment really will dictate much of your success. Just like in business, in business, your first 10 employees will determine the success of your company. Similarly, in real estate, as an agent, the team or the company that you join will often determine how far you go. You may be somebody who's very motivated, very active, you've got a lot of energy, but if you're surrounded by people who are not going to nurture that energy and keep that fire going, it's going to burn out at some point. On the other hand, you might have an amazing company, but the agent is lackluster and doesn't have the fire. It's also not going to be a very successful relationship. When those two combine together, when you've got a really motivated and active person, and they're surrounded by an amazing company, that's where you're going to see results. My personal journey in real estate was, I actually got my license 5 years ago, and I joined this big brokerage in the Bronx, 100+ agents. I was going in every morning, a lot of scripting, a lot of role playing, a lot of learning in class, learning sort of going on, but I didn't really get the attention that I needed. I didn't get the one-on-one. I wasn't put in front of a computer and say, hey, here are leads, start making calls, and so forth. I had my own business keeping me busy, so I dropped out of real estate. A year and a half ago, I went and renewed my license, and I joined a different broker, 10 agents, and the energy level was completely different. So, for anybody who's interested in getting into real estate, you've got to pick your company very wisely. It's got to, my opinion is, it should be a small company where you're going to get a lot of attention.
And I feel like real estate is one of those fields is that the amount of work you put in, you'll always get the results.
Absolutely, yeah. The more work you put in, the results you'll get, and in fact, we say in real estate, you'll see the results 3 months later. Yeah. So if you're going to office right now, this week, and making your calls, you'll be getting a check 3 months from now through a closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just as an attorney from the outside looking in, clearly I agree. What you get in is, what you get out is what you will clearly put into the effort. And I've seen working in this, as you were saying a little bit earlier, there's a small number of agents that are doing really well. What I found is that they're customer service oriented. If you want to be successful in this industry, whether it's as a realtor or as an attorney, you have to provide top-notch customer service. That's, I think, the key at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's in any industry, and that's the one I try to abide by. Take care of your clients, everything else will fall into place, right? Don't chase the dollar, make your focus the customer, the client, their best interest, take care of them. The money will, money will follow. So absolutely, be a fanatic when it comes to customer service. Go above and beyond. Be reliable. I'm a stickler for being reliable. If I say I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock to show you a house, I'm there 9:50. I open all the doors. I turn on all the lights. So when my clients come in, nobody wants to walk into a dark, dingy house. They want to walk into a bright, open house where it's going to feel safe and welcoming. So I try and get there 10 minutes before, open up all the doors, open up all the windows, the lights. So when they come in, it's like somebody's already living there. It's bright and open. So, it's all about being customer focused.
Sounds good. So I think, pivoting on that topic is, people like myself or, millennials that are looking to, buy a home soon. What we want to know is like the process. So give us some like do's and don'ts on buying your first home.
I'll let you take the lead on everyone. You're my senior.
Okay.
And everything from like mortgage to the lawyer aspect, to getting the document signed, to getting the deed, to getting the keys, and even before to actually finding the home. So yeah.
Okay, so I mean, just like you would for anything else you shop for, obviously this is a bigger purchase. Shop around, look for the reliable agent, look for someone you feel comfortable with, because you're buying a house. You don't buy a house every day. So find an agent that you feel that is trustworthy, wouldn't push you into a house that you don't really want. Just like you would look for a loan officer that's not pushy. Same thing with the attorney that you would trust, and that's why we have these two guys. So that's what I would say. Find a team that's trustworthy and reliable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one of the mistakes a lot of home buyers make, and I've personally made that mistake in my own home buying journey, is they don't commit to an agent. I believe home buyers should commit to an agent. You don't go to a hairstylist or a barber, a different one every week. You shouldn't also go to a different agent every weekend for open houses. You should have one agent that you and your family are comfortable with. They've sat down with you. They've learned your wants and needs and your area and budget, and you should shop for houses through them. Right? The deals that I've closed, every one of those clients committed to working with me exclusively. And it paid off not only for me in terms of earning a commission, but it paid off for them in terms of getting to the house in a short amount of time. I'll give you my journey. When I was a home buyer 5 years ago, I must have seen 100 houses, and I'm not exaggerating. I must have seen 100 houses